All right. So welcome to the Mastermind, everybody. It's going to be a good one today, as always. Who has anything they'd like to share? Some wins, some appointments. I know Janki's going to share a video with us shortly. She can't make it today because she's in an appointment, but she has a video she wants to share. So I will share it sometime in the middle of the Mastermind. But anybody have anything they'd like to share? Some wins today. I'll give you the mic. Could be any win. It doesn't have to be you closing on a StreetText listing.
I've started doing, I can't remember, a few weeks ago, the girl with the glasses who said she sits down every morning or 2 hours every day and does personal videos.
Yeah.
So I've got my automated video that goes out on submission, and I've started going through and doing a walkthrough on the internet's best guess. And my open rate has skyrocketed.
Okay, say that again. So, because a lot of us just missed that. So your open rate has skyrocketed. What exactly are you doing differently? Walk us through.
So instead of doing because I just had some pre-recorded thanks for your submission, and then sending another one, here's your submission, Facebook link, blah, blah, blah. And those were pre-recorded that I was sending out. I've now changed it where I'm putting their name and their address on the whiteboard and sending them that video saying, here's what Zillow, here's what Redfin, here's what I've come up with, all basically just saying, this is the internet's best guess. I need to see your place. I'm getting everybody who I'm sending it to now is opening and watching at least 90% of the video. Whereas before it was probably maybe half of the people. And they're opening and engaging with my emails. And I'm getting more people on the phone now.
That's amazing. That's all you could ask for. Anybody have questions for Nicole on this one? Because at a 90% open rate, that's almost 100%.
What are you sending it through?
I'm using BombBomb through StreetText. And then I'm using BombBomb and just sending it through my email.
Wait, so you're not sending it through BombBomb? You're sending it through your email and you're embedding the video?
Yeah. I don't, I
what
love
email
BombBomb.
do you use?
It's Gmail.
Interesting.
So the Chrome extension?
Yeah.
I mean, the cool thing on these Chrome extensions anyways is when you actually personally send it out, you attach tracking to it. And so you get a clear idea if you're sending something out, if it's being opened and watched. And I think that's
I get the notifications on my phone when somebody opens and watches and all of that.
Big takeaway right there, guys.
So do you have a template set up in Gmail?
So
Are you using Gmail?
I'm going to make a template. I had one set up for like the automated video that I would send out. I'm going to tweak that a little bit to go a little more personal. So I'll know what points to change on each individual one. So I'll go in and I'll say, giving them just an update, like Zillow says your house is worth this, and it'll correspond with what I've told them. So it'll have that information in there.
Yeah, I wouldn't put too much information in the email. You want them to watch the video.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, I'm going to now go through with every lead that I've had. I'm working my way down the list of StreetText. For every lead that I've had that hasn't gone and listed with somebody else, I'm going through and doing this with them.
I need to mention, going through what Nicole just said, I've been doing that since 2 weeks ago, Mastermind. And the lady who mentioned about sending a second email like 10 minutes later.
Anna.
Yes, so I've been testing that also, and doing it from my Gmail. The second email, like the 10 minutes email, I've been sending it through my Gmail using the BombBomb extension, and like Nicole said, yes, the open rate it's a lot higher, and it's amazing. And another thing that I just realized, well, I posted in the group, is that Saturday people are opening the emails a lot more than, you know, a weekday. So I noticed that as well.
No, that's good that you track that. The other thing is the reason you're getting so much activity with that other one going out. Usually it's, hey, just check and see if you got the email. Because I send an email and a text. So I'll sit there and say, hey, just check and see if you got the email and text. It's kind of a confirmation thing just to get
Yeah.
some kind of result or response.
Yes, in my email, the second email that I'm sending from Gmail, I'm putting there like what the lady say about, I sent you this email, this initial email, I don't know, 10 minutes ago at, I don't know, 12 something PM, whatever the case was. And people actually went to that initial email from BombBomb, because the first one I'm sending it from BombBomb, and then the second one from Gmail. It's a lot of job, yes, but the opening rate, it's higher, like definitely.
Yeah, I started doing the same thing after Donna said she started doing that 10 minutes after, and that open rate, it's went way up by doing that. So that was a good little tip, and I think it's very useful to do that.
Can somebody clarify? Oh, sorry.
Sorry, I'm just doing the dance from all these people with just doing these things and getting open rates. It's all you could ask for, is getting you in front of these people. That's all you can ask for. If you do that,
it just helps because you don't know if that BombBomb one went to their junk email. So just sending that new one through Gmail, and maybe it goes right to their inbox, just lets them know it's in there so they can search for it. I think that was a great idea.
Wendy, ask.
Okay, so I'm a bit confused about, people are saying they're sending it from Gmail and they're sending it from BombBomb. When I open my Gmail, I have a BombBomb extension, so I've got a BombBomb like border around my Gmail. I press record and I send my video. Is that BombBomb or is that Gmail? Like, what's the difference?
Who wants to answer that one?
I think it's the same in my opinion, but I guess maybe Wendy's saying there's a difference sending it through BombBomb directly.
Yeah, so you can create a template in BombBomb, and it has like all of your stuff. It looks super cute, and then you can just put the, and it'll auto populate, everything for you, and then you just put your video in there and send it through BombBomb. So that's why I was asking, where did you send it through? Because I track that, and then I track sending it through Follow Up Boss, but I actually have never, and both of them run through my Gmail.
Like this.
Yeah, like that one. But they all run through my Gmail, but I never actually tried to send it right through Gmail. So that's interesting that you're getting a lot of open.
With Gmail, you're talking about composing an email like this, and then you have your little BombBomb power wheel, and you can either do snippets.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Stuff,
yeah,
right? I do
this. Well.
I do this a lot, where I actually include something just like this and send it, or film new video from there. But then when you do, it has the tracking next to it, so you can actually send it if you have the extension of BombBomb. So you can send it both ways and track.
So a snippet is like
a template.
Template?
Well, it's like if it's pre-recorded. If you know you're going to send something over and over again, you've created the text. You can maybe change up the video even if you wanted to every time you change it. But it allows you to kind of recreate the message that you want almost on an evergreen level.
So that's what I've been doing, using the snippets. I create like kind of a template in there, and from there I'm sending the emails, and the open rate is amazing.
Yeah, that's cool. I might try some of that if they don't open my Follow Up Box or my BombBomb.
Now, who's using the CMA follow-up with the picture of the home on the top? It kind of like the Jennifer Salter template, where she does a little picture of their home, and then she does the video underneath that, and then she's kind of laying out the internet's best guess. Anybody using that format?
I use that.
What I did, I didn't. I'm not using that type of template, but I did add the satellite, the map from the ad. I put it on the Gmail template, just as reference for them, like where I'm coming from, or you know, where I get their information. So I'm posting the, you know, pasting that picture on the at the Gmail template.
For anybody who's kind of wondering, you know, BombBomb is a video email template. There's other systems you can use like Dub and Loom and all these other ones. We just find that BombBomb for a lot of us seems to be, they've been around for the longest. They've been in the industry. They have the most experience, almost 15 years in real estate. They have a great support background. You pay a little bit more compared to Dub, like $10 more. But I find it's just, I'm always thinking about the customer experience. That's the most important part.
One of the things if you go look in the StreetText Insider group, they were talking the other day about delivery for a lot of the emails and stuff like that weren't going through. And I actually went into Fiverr.com and had the same guy set my stuff up. They were saying that a lot of times if you don't have the right TXT settings or something in your DNS, that can be a cause for a lot of bounces or a lot of stuff not delivering. So I think the guy charged me $10 for each account I did, and I've got 2 accounts I mainly send out of. So if you're not seeing a lot of opens or getting deliveries when you're tracking your BombBomb stuff, go in the Insider group, find the guy's name, and go look this other guy up. It's definitely worth it, because I just started, he just did my stuff. Today's Wednesday, so they just finished my stuff yesterday. Yeah, so I'll know within a week how much stuff is delivering better than what I had before.
Hey, Leon, do us a favor, go write something in the Insider group. I'll tag that, and then I'll post it in the announcement section.
I'm gonna go find it, and then I'll just put it in there.
So that everybody can have access.
Yeah, I'll find it. It's definitely worth it though, because the big thing is if it's not getting opened, sometimes your email provider, and nowadays with stuff getting caught in spam filters, whatever, it's the best $10 you'll ever spend.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I started that thread, and I had him do it. I had, so there's 2 things. There's, not to get in the weeds, but there's DKIM records and DMARC records. And I had already updated my DKIM, so that was all good. But my StreetText emails in particular were not getting high open rates. So he updated the DMARC records, and I think like immediately my open rate went from 12% and has climbed to 17%. So it's gone up 50% since doing that. So it's going to take a while to get the open rate up, because it's, you know, diluted, but it's going up significantly. So it's definitely worth the $10.
So Curtis, I guess since he's done that and you've seen the emails sending out, I would actually look on how many of those emails have been opened since he's done that out of the emails delivered.
Oh, I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to see specifically.
Well, you go to emails, all emails,
Uh-huh.
and then you go to records in the emails, and you'll see like 60 sent, for example, on the after submission. And then it'll show you the last email. So if you're seeing a consistency of emails being opened, then you know you hit the prize there.
Okay.
So it's in your funnel settings and all emails. Great.
I see Corinne sharing here that she did the same thing with her emails. Corinne also has a win. Can I get you to share your win, Corinne?
Yeah, I do. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So actually, I have another one from last time I spoke with you, but I'll start with me and my partner have been with StreetText, I think, for a little under 2 months or so. And we started with the property valuation ad. We were doing great with that at first, and I was sending the BombBomb video CMA, and then just following up with them via phone call if they provided a phone number. So from that, for doing that for about a month, I think, we got a listing appointment which is actually next week for a co-op in Manhattan for 1.1. So we're super excited about that. So that happened really fast for us. But then after watching the Mastermind last week, we switched over to the buyer ad. I think it's called the lead campaign, I believe. Whatever Janki taught us last week. So I kind of just dove right into that as soon as that Mastermind was over. And I think just from last week, I started it on Thursday. We have about 89 leads, which is insane. And we have a listing appointment actually from the buyer ads this Sunday for a house worth $850. So yeah, we have a lot going on, and I'm really excited about it.
What was your call to action on that, Corin?
So for the buyer ads, all we're doing is we send the automated email gets sent out, which has a URL to our website, which just has a search engine of all the listings on our MLS and RLS, which is what Manhattan and Brooklyn use. So then they can click on our URL, search whatever listings they want to see, which our ad we're targeting buyers who are looking under 500K. So that's what gets them to click under 500K in Brooklyn or Manhattan. And then we wait until the next day to give them a phone call because all of them also provide their phone numbers. So we wait until the next day to give them a phone call and a text message. And it's been working amazingly so far. So we've only been doing that for a week and we're already working with some buyers and have that listing appointment this Sunday.
Hey, Corin, first of all, that's awesome. Did you create an automation in StreetText for your buyers, or are you not doing that?
Yes, I did. So actually, I'll just go to my email. It's only like 2 sentences are automated email. But in that automated email includes the URL to our website so that they can search listings. So all it says is, thanks for requesting a list of available homes. This list is updated every 15 minutes, and then feel free to reach out. It's the automated email that's included with the campaign. So
right.
I didn't
After
do
that
much.
or anything like following them for weeks or months or anything like that?
So far, no. So only because we've just been doing it for under a week, I'm trying to just make our system for it. So far, the only thing we're doing is the automated email that gets sent immediately, and then a follow-up phone call and a text message. So that's what I have so far. And then what I plan to do, which is what I'm working on now, is putting them on a drip campaign or a newsletter that they're going to receive weekly, just with some new listings that are under 500K that they can visit on our website. So that's what I plan on doing. But I don't know if anyone has, a system already in place that they have success with. I would love to hear, but so far that's what I have.
So just a question, for the 89 leads that you have, what's your cost per lead for the buyer leads?
So that's another thing that is amazing. So far it's been much cheaper than the seller ads we've had. So I'm looking right now, we have 4 of them running, and I have 4 of them running because they're all just providing us a great amount of leads. So combined, it's about 89 from all 4, and none of them exceed $1.50 per lead.
Wow.
Yeah.
Work.
So yeah, it's
I just
awesome.
I just peeked at it. I can share it here, Corinne.
Yeah.
I mean, the ad is just killing it.
And remember, guys, the top of the funnel is so beautiful because these buyers, most of them, there's a lot of them that have to sell first before they buy. They're just already looking. That's why you work the top of the funnel, because you're first to their piquing their interest. But then you're like, well, we have to sell first. You're like,
Right.
cool, I can do that too.
Exactly.
So I think the buyer campaigns on Facebook are a phenomenal idea.
Good job. Yeah, they're doing really well. Awesome.
For the automation on buyer leads, is that something that needs to be set up? Is that going to be completely different than the automation that goes out for that first email on a seller lead?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. And is it easy to do, or should I sit in on the ad tweak class to learn how to do that?
A lot of them have one associated to it. You always want it. So my idea is, whenever you launch an ad, go to that particular ad and put yourself in there, and also go to my funnels. So Ira, if you want to share the account again, and just to see, if you go to my funnels and the ad is toggled on, you can always toggle it off really quickly before you actually go back on and just kind of review the automations. I always suggest you do that anyways before you just launch something, other than the ones you already know you're doing on the seller side. But if you go to funnels and then go to my funnels, it shows you which ads you currently have on. And then if you hover over that particular ad and click edit, wherever that ad is, it's got a couple of them going. Which one is it? It's there. You're making me dizzy, Ira.
It's payback to how many times you've done it to me, Marcus. I don't see it, but the pictures, it's because the pictures. Let's go here. There it is.
Yeah. So you get it. Okay. And then, so here are the small little automations on. So right now, if you scroll down there, is it only the email? So you can
Yeah.
actually, so the cool thing is you can add in as many emails as you want here. You can add in a text message. All you got to do is add an action. And if you just add in the text message, you can create a text message, and then you can have it delayed a day if you want, even, or delayed wherever you want. You can add multiple text messages. The beauty about these automations, guys, is that you're in control of them. They're just templates there, but now you can actually add emails, you can add text messages. And so if you go and click on that list of homes under 500K, just go down there, click on it. It'll take you right into that email. And now you can see what she has automatically sending out. And so in this case, if you wanted to add in a BombBomb video or so much, you could just obviously pull up your Chrome extension, throw in the video, and there you go. You got an automated video with the list.
Yeah, Corin, the reason I was asking you is because I loved my buyer leads. I always brag on how good they are on StreetText, but I didn't have like an automation beyond that initial. And so I was carrying them over to KV Core, and I didn't want to do that because I use StreetText for everything else. So I think that's something that needs to happen, because I think my cost per click at one point was like 37 cents a lead. It was like,
Oh
bizarre.
my gosh.
Yeah,
That's
it was
amazing.
like,
Yeah,
I
so
think
that's
if it would be nice too, maybe if a bunch of us could put in some ideas to add to the email funnels, some steps to add. I've been trying to think of some different ideas. I don't know if it would be nice if we could add to that some different things that'll hit them, every couple days or whatever.
I think what the best thing you guys can do is share the ads when you're doing successful and what's working in the group. Like, remember, we're a contribution share focused community. You don't have to worry about anybody like catching on to it. By you sharing your success and your ad performance and the ads you're running in that group, you say, hey guys, check out what I just got. It's cost per lead of da 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 da. It encourages us to go and try things and new templates, new funnels, and so forth. So definitely share that when you get a win.
Yeah, Jennifer Salter, you're the stalker of the group. I was reading in the thing where you had said that you don't have live links, you're just using the buttons. So just for reference, I know you probably had links before. When you changed up, how much difference did you notice in opens off doing it that way with just the buttons?
well, see, I didn't change it up in StreetText. StreetText my opens, but through BombBomb, I did the template that hid all of my links. And I noticed immediately that it wasn't going to spam. The reason I changed it is because everyone was telling me that they didn't see it was in spam. And I realized it was due to the links. So I actually made a video, and I think it's in the files section of StreetText Insider. And I think it's called BombBomb templates. And it shows you how to make the templates to hide all of your links. But yeah, I noticed an immediate change. At least it was going to their inbox. But then you're right, I stalk them, and if they don't open, I just resend.
And I just want to bring that up because we've got a lot of people that have came on since you had made that video, and everybody's trying to sit there and see something. And as realtors, we forget sometimes. We're so smart, we outsmart ourselves. And sometimes it's easy to go back to square one, start simple and expand on it. And just like Marcus and everybody in the group says, as far as just testing, split testing, so you could turn around and sample a couple of emails out and see who's opening what and not, and go with that. But sometimes just the simplest tweak gives you the best results.
And it doesn't hurt you just to resend it personally. So I think you have this automated video that goes out just to be there. And then you go back and resend it from your personal email, from BombBomb or Gmail, and just slightly change the message, like, hey, just want to make sure you received this and it didn't go in one of your filters. Right? Because all we're doing, it's not like, that's the key, is we're just trying to get them to engage and acknowledge. So then we can actually move into the next step, which obviously would be adjusting their home value. So
on your follow-ups, Jennifer, didn't you also change the picture or something the second time you sent out on somebody? Or was that Wendy?
What?
Sorry, I'm totally paying attention, I swear.
Does everybody send out automated videos? Does anybody do just personal videos?
I do. Yeah, and I just put in the chat box the video that shows you how to make the template to hide your links, so you guys can have it. But yeah, I send out videos, especially to people that I see opening, but they're not responding to me. So what I'll do is I'll change it up, because I always have this EXP in the background, just like Marcus always has his. Leon, I like that you changed your background. It's not Antarctica anymore. But so then I try to go outside, or if I'm at a store or in my car, then I'll do like just a video just to say, hey, I saw that you opened, you know, let me know your next steps. That way they know I'm making it for them. Or I use the Big app. Do you use Big app that we've talked about on here?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so I'll just make sure to include their name so that they know that I'm talking to them and making a message directly to them. So.
Okay, I'm just asking because I just recently joined up as of yesterday. I joined, I did my free trial probably end of July, beginning of August. And within that week, I got 4 appointments, and I just last Friday closed the 4 deals that I got from StreetText. And I don't have any sort of automated anything. I mean, every video that I do is personal and it's always sort of on the fly. And I'm just wondering if maybe I'm shooting myself in the foot, but I record videos that are 20 seconds because I can pretty much say what I need to in 20 seconds. And to do that just to me is easier. And I kind of keep myself in order, but I'm just wondering if maybe I should be doing more automated as opposed to, hey, yo, what's up? Here's this, blah, blah, blah. There you go.
Both.
Right. The only thing I would say, I mean, that is awesome. I think that's great.
I got lucky.
But for the automation, like I was saying on the last meeting, I'm still getting people responding to stuff from they came 5 months ago, and then they just got another drip, which I'm not working on. And they're like, oh, okay, we're ready now. You know, so this is things that like it's happening when you're not even working on it. And then it brings you more business. So that's the important thing is it's really hard once you get 3,000 in your database to stay on top of it.
For sure.
So yeah.
That's when HomeBot and so forth makes sense, right? Because it's going to do those reports on a monthly.
We don't have that though in Canada.
No, we don't. So, you know, that's why, you know, you guys all know, I've said this over and over again, your end game is try to get a relationship on Facebook. If you can get there, you can now segment those friends into lists, and you can really hold yourself accountable to checking in with personal messages. And you, Wendy, nothing's going to take the place of a personal or both of you guys. I'm saying Wendy and Wendy. Nothing's going to take the place of you guys personally checking in, and everybody's going to, when you get a personal message from somebody, that's the game changer. You know, these automations are not supposed to do your job and book your appointments. They're just there when you can't be, but you need to be focusing on the personal messages and the personal check-ins, especially with these leads that are out in the future, because that's the key. You checking in, you acknowledge the market has changed, or giving them some advice, and there's nothing that can take that place.
Gotcha. Yeah, cool.
Hey, Wendy, I just have a quick question. Are you using BombBomb to do your videos? Or
I'm actually using Dub. I chose Dub over BombBomb. I basically had I had 2 salespeople from each company just fighting each other. And I got the lowest price. I got them down to like a stupid amount. So I went with Dub. But yeah, honestly, for me, the 2 were equal. It was just the price, and it was, give me the best price, you got my business. So.
And where in Canada? Where in Canada are you?
I'm in Stony Creek.
Oh, okay.
Where are you? You out west?
Vancouver, yeah.
Vancouver, cool. Excellent.
Awesome. So anybody who come on late, we've been kind of sharing how to get effective emails opened, communication around those. Any shares around or questions around the email, both on the automations and the personal? And then, you know, really, I think the screen recording is a big aspect of all of that, because that gives you the ability to kind of create the experience you want them to have. So really get comfortable with screen recording, because I think that's a game changer if you really do it right.
I have a question for the girl that has 90% opens. Was that you, Wendy, or was that someone else? 90%
No,
open.
that's me.
That's Nicole.
What was your subject line?
My subject is it's literally just their address. It says it's their address, valuation, and then brackets, personal video included.
Love
No
it.
emojis?
Pardon?
Any emojis?
Nope.
All right, just checking.
So it says
Emojis
video.
are on the automated one that goes out. Their initial when they submit. But no emojis on the one that I'm sending out myself.
So Nicole, do you have video link included in the subject line, or are you just putting their address on the subject and then video link included in the body?
It's so the subject is, you know, XYZ Main Street valuation, and then in brackets, personal video included. And then in the body is just the bomb GIF, whatever. And then just a little bit of text like, hey, you know, this is what you've requested. Click the video for your information. And I actually like what Wendy said. I'm not going to change that because I don't want them to say Zillow's this, right? I want them to watch the video.
Yeah.
So, and then what I'm going to do also is send a, I'm going to record. This is going to be more of an automated. I'm going to have it set up to send 4 days after. If I haven't talked to them, hey, just want to check in. Did you receive this? Let me know what questions you have. And then I'm going to do another personal one a few days later, setting them up on the home bot. Because what I was doing before is sending the home bot when I would send them the valuation. And then they have no, I mean, I'm seeing who's opening their home bots, but I'm not getting any more engagement through that because they've got that link and they're seeing it and then they know that's all they have.
Right. You should totally automate that though, because like I said, once you get that many leads coming in, your personal CMA, your video CMA, should be the only thing you need to work on, because the one saying, I just wanted to make sure you received my home valuation, obviously, you know, to get a better value of your home, I'd like to see it, click the link below, blah, blah, blah. You could do that in a canned, you know what I mean? And then that,
exactly.
that goes in your automation on day 4.
But here's the thing with that.
The personal one.
With the automations though, Wendy, the problem with that is if you're not studying your analytics and the opens, you're going to find that only a percentage of those are getting that day 4. So if you send the screen recording CMA, how many of those, number one, are getting it? Are we working on getting those open rates up to 90%? And then as well as those automations, are we tracking to see that they received it? And if they didn't, are we sending it out again? Because that's the key, is we need to go after the opens. Those messages are phenomenal in the automations, but if they're not getting open and watched, then, you know, you're just playing the numbers game. We need to make sure every person gets that opportunity to get the entire sequence. So we got to figure out, you know, as a community, how to do that effectively and in a way that's not like going to take too much of our time either. I think that's the key.
What were you saying about not using the Zillow thing below? Are you saying you don't put the Zillow Zestimate?
Yeah, I don't put all the numbers down below. Number one, it saves time. Number two, then they really want to watch your video to see what you have to say. If you write everything down, sometimes they never play your video because it's all right there. And I want them to get to know me and see the personality and, you know,
I'm glad you brought that up because I forgot his name, but when we had someone from BombBomb on, it's really interesting because I changed what I was doing. And, you know, obviously I've had a lot of listings with StreetText, but I had this whole template, you know, this is what the internet's best guess is. This is what Zillow thinks, Redfin. Now this is my estimate based on MLS, and I put it, the video was there. But then I started valuing the video and I put less information and I was getting more watches, but here's the thing, I wasn't getting any more engagement in my head. And what it did was a few months would go by, and when I was ready to do their updated valuation, now I had no clue what I said before. So I had to watch the video again and then update it from there. And I thought, you know, it's more work on the back end to keep that engagement. So I went back to what I was doing and figure at least they'll see me move in the preview. And if they want to watch me or not, I still feel like they get to, I don't know what the right answer is, but I've tried it both ways. I just didn't see a difference in engagement. And the open rates to me are the same because, you know, I force it down their throat. They're going to open it. So I'm not worried about that, but I'm interested what other people find they're getting more engagement on, the video watches or the more information.
Okay, so I have to pitch in, Jennifer. This is Janki. So I just came in, sorry about that. I was trying to send a video to Marcus to kind of give you guys an update. Mine is more like not video, but more of a conversation, more of a dialogue, even whether they come in through Facebook or whether they are on a drip campaign. As soon as the lead comes in, because we tend to call it a lead, as soon as the lead comes in, we go ahead and put them on a drip campaign automatically, right? And then the AI on the back end, Julia, whoever it is, they're trying to have a conversation, but it's not working. For some odd reason, they don't respond to AI, they don't respond to Julie. But when you get the phone number and you do this right here, you kind of text them, they start responding. And that's exactly what I did. The lead that we just signed a listing agreement with last night, that's exactly what we did. 3 weeks ago, I started having a conversation with them, and then my ISA went ahead and booked a phone appointment with them. And I dug a little deeper. Now keep in mind, this is on the buy side, right? I didn't even know they had a condo to sell. And they did have a condo to sell. So like I said in my video, I was about to upload it to Marcus, is that the key questions to ask matters. What you say to them matters, right? Even in the video, Jennifer and Wendy, that you guys are doing, you're probably asking key questions or saying, hey, here's a CMA, or here are comparable sold values that are in your area. Let me know if you have any other questions. Don't approach and keep on badgering them to, hey, when can I come? When can I come? What can I do? Come from contribution and give them what they're asking for. Simple.
Yeah, that's a good point. And I saw that video you had made yesterday. I don't know where I knew you before StreetText, probably LabCo 8. But,
Probably.
yeah, and that's the good point about linking everyone into Facebook. And that's why Marcus has really been great about that, because everyone's in a list now. And I tell them, for me, the conversation's never real estate. The conversation is, oh, congrats on your child's high school graduation, or,
Yes.
can't believe your grandchild's so cute, or whatever. And then they start to connect the emails to the videos to the Facebook. And that's when they really start to feel like they know you and,
Right.
call you out to sell their house.
Exactly. And sometimes what we do is do a quick video from the home itself, or another listing, or another closed contract, closed client that you just had, or sale that you just had. And I walk around and I say, guys, I want to show you what we just did. And we went, the price of this home was $998,000. We go above and beyond for our clients. We talk to our realtors. We communicate with them what is the best offer that we can put together and make it a win-win for our client. Having that so letting your audience know exactly what you do for them, that also matters, because then they'll say, oh, okay, so she does talk to the other realtor. I don't necessarily have to go to the listing agent all the time to, get my offer accepted. I don't have to work with the listing agent. I can use Janki and her team to, talk to them and get my offer accepted, right? That's another thing also to keep in mind. I haven't done video, Jennifer, as much as everyone talks about BombBomb. I need to I've been a little slow at that. But for me, good old fashioned phone, it really does work, guys. And just setting that appointment up. And then once that appointment is set up from my ISA sets up our appointments, but the scripts that he uses makes a huge difference. And that's why I was late, because I was doing a role play. Every morning we do a quick huddle and a role play with our team. And, that's when we talk about our scripts and our dialogues and what is it that we want to achieve for the day, and we make it happen. So yesterday he converted 2 StreetText appointments for us that I have an appointment for at 11 o'clock this morning as well.
I love that. It just gave me an idea. We should create a role play class.
We should.
For StreetText leads. Hey.
I would love that.
Yeah. How many would love that by show of hands? Role play? I felt like saying roll call right now. You remember that movie? Shibuya, Shibuya, roll call. Yeah, we'll try to create that for you guys for sure. That's awesome, Janki. Thanks for sharing.
Absolutely, because it matters what conversations you're having. And like Jennifer said, sometimes it's like how you engage with them that matters too, right? Not only through video, but connecting with them on Facebook, connecting with them on different social sites. Not like hounding them, but just saying, hey, how are you? I like oh my God, that is so cute, or whatever comments you make in your, to them, that matters. You're getting them to, you're getting their eyeballs on what you have to say to them too.
I'm curious, does everybody use the whole, this is what your internet's best guess approach, like with Zillow and Redfin and all the other things? Like, I don't do that, so I'm just curious if that is sort of what everybody does to basically get their point across and get their range kind of thing.
I do that on HomeBot, and the reason I do that is the HomeBot values have been so kind of off. So anything, I hate to say anything to engage or get a conversation, but in HomeBot, when they start looking at it, I let them know that what my HomeBot is sending them is what the internet's best guess is about their home. So when you say to make a negative or positive, I don't have to justify why the numbers are wrong, so to speak, because they didn't come directly from me. Then I can lead into, because you already have the information pull up on their home. And at that point, I just said, well, while I have you on the phone, can I ask a couple quick questions? And I let them give me maybe upgrades, updates, whatever. And then I either sit down and try to null the appointment, try to have them give me a video walkthrough, or at that point, I can just go ahead and give them a value. But I'm letting them explain that everything they're getting is off the internet. And I want them to understand why I am the valuable resource, not Zillow or Truly or Realtor.com.
Okay, so question, in America, anybody can go here and look up sold data. They can see what their house next door sold. You have that there, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, but you have it in real time, and the sources they go to don't necessarily mean it's in real time. So if you have a division of 100 homes and 10 homes have sold in there, it'd be good. But, like you get people that have built, new home sharing a fence with a, home built in 1950. So what I explained to them is that Zillow and places like that use generalized data for the area. They're not able to break it down specifically like you would for year built, this and that. Anytime you talk to somebody as a working interview, so you're selling yourself as that resource. So when I break that down like that to make the apples and oranges for them, it's a better conversation.
Yeah, I get that. I'm just saying is I have to approach it differently because they have access to the same information I have. So I don't use the whole, I can do better than this. I do, this is what I'm going to give you. And it's a different, what's the word? Valuation, or I can't think of the stupid term I'm looking for. But anyway, only because, like I say, anybody looking at a property, they can see what the house next door sold for it, like yesterday. So I have to bring a bit more to the table than this is what the internet says your property is worth, because they know what their property is worth. So I have to basically do a deeper dive into, let's talk about your home and your motivation and why you're moving and what you've done to it, and is it fresh paint and that kind of stuff. That's sort of how I approach my sellers, because again, they have access to all the information that I do, not specifically, whether it was a bidding war and all that kind of stuff, but I'm trying to see if there's anybody who doesn't do the internet's best guess and have that work for them.
So your guys' stuff updates in real time?
Say that again?
Your guys' data updates in real time?
Yeah, within 24 hours.
Okay,
So
that's a battle we have had as realtors in the States, is
right.
The fact that we own our data. That is our value. So that's what sets us apart from the guy that goes to Zillow or whatever like that. So yeah, it's a little different for us.
Okay, fair enough.
My quick question, Wendy, if I may just interject real quickly. My quick question, Wendy, to you is, if that is the case, right? What is your conversation you're having? If the next door neighbors say really quickly, if I'm sorry if I put you on the hot spot, but if I may just have a real quick role play with you, right? You be the buyer, you be the seller real quickly. You're next door. You just found, hey, you put me on the spot, Marcus. So here I am. You're the neighbor, and you just sold 123 Main Street, right? And the data on Zillow says, or whatever, Redfin says $1 million, right? It's sold for $1 million, right? Take it from there, what your conversation is like. I'm knocking on your door or whatever. What do you do? Do that exact same thing as a realtor, but now just kind of give me a little bit of insight to that.
What do you mean, a conversation with the seller?
Conversation with the seller.
So
yes.
I'm door knocking about the property next door.
Right.
Okay, well, I don't really door knock, but it would be something sort of, hey, I'm Wendy Wolf at Century 21, depending on who sold the property next door. If there's a way for me to say our brokerage just sold.
Okay.
Yeah. C21. I don't want to lie to them, obviously. But you know, I'm just curious. Have you thought about selling? Because I know that this property went to a bidding war. There were 35 offers on this property, and only one family obviously got to get this home. So now you look at, there are another 30 people who are looking in this area specifically for a home just like yours. Do you think you're selling?
Okay, so you're now going to be the seller. I'm knocking on your door. I'm going to be Wendy, right? Knock, knock.
This is a rub.
I just turned Mark off.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Knock. I'm like, okay, what's that? Okay, Wendy, real quickly. Knock, knock.
Hi, how are you?
Open the door, right? And we say, you say hi. Hi, this is Janki with eXp Realty, and how's your day going?
Pretty good.
Okay, great. So I just came by to let you know that 123 Main Street, right over there around the corner, just sold 55,000 over asking. I wanted to ask you, who do you know in your neighborhood that's looking to sell?
I don't really know, actually.
Okay.
I don't hang out with my neighbors that much.
Oh, no problem. Thank you for thinking of that. I really appreciate you taking a minute out of your time to kind of help me there. You see, we have about 10 different buyers that are looking to buy a home in this beautiful neighborhood of yours. Can you tell me a little bit about your neighborhood? What is so attractive that so many buyers are willing to buy a home in this area?
It's great for families, great for kids, a lot of amenities.
Okay. Have you ever thought about moving to a different place, where do you see yourself retiring in the next 5 years, if I may ask?
Probably here.
Probably here, okay.
Yeah.
And what do you love about your home?
Well, it's good size, good neighborhood, hot guys across the street cleaning the pool.
So basically, I'm trying to get you to think, but another thing I want to also add on is I would go about and say, well, that's all great. Oh, that is amazing. I love the fact that you love this neighborhood. If for the right price, if you were given the opportunity to sell your home, would you consider selling?
For the right price, sure.
Right price. And what is that right price in your mind? What do you think?
$2 million.
What is it?
$2 million.
$2 million. All right, that is a very good goal to have. Well, let me see what I can do for you. I know the home values in this area are about $1 million. With the offer that just got accepted, I'm assuming it's going to probably be a little bit higher than that. What do you think that is worth $2 million in your home that would get a buyer to buy your home at $2 million? What is it about your home? Do you have a larger backyard? Do you have an amazing kitchen? What is it that it would attract a buyer to go ahead and say, I'm ready to pay $1 million?
We're really assuming that this is actually going to take place. This is a very long door knock.
Right, but here's the thing. What you're trying to do.
I just want to, I get where we're going. So you're you're basically showing me that I need to be more personal and blah, blah, blah. So I'm just trying to circle back to how we got here.
Well, I mean, you're digital door knocking in the virtual world, right? So if you do have a phone number, that conversation can happen. If you don't,
for sure.
If you don't have a phone number, what you need to look to do is create that opportunity to have a conversation through video email first and foremost, and try to take that conversation into a place where you can connect more than just exchanging emails or text.
Mm-hmm.
Right, but my whole point that I was making was the fact that I don't use the internet's best guess when I am doing my pitch. I do something completely different because I can't door knock now anyway, right? We're not allowed. So it's a moot point. And if I were, then for sure I get what Janki is saying, that I need to be more conversational, more, let's talk about you and why you love this, and not so much that sold for $1 million, do you want to sell? Like I get that and I appreciate that. I'm just interested in whether somebody uses a different approach other than the internet's best guess, because
are you giving a, like,
so
when you give your
out there,
are you providing are you providing a range of values?
I do provide a range of values, and so essentially that would be my spiel is sort of, this is what things are selling for in your neighborhood. This sold down the street, this sold across the street. I don't know what your house looks like. Obviously, if I get in there, I could give you a better guess. Get back to me if you've made some upgrades or additions, even if you've thrown a coat of paint on the place, that could add value. So give me that information, and then I'm going to get back to you with a property range, and maybe we can do a deeper dive and see come closer to an exact amount, that kind of thing.
And
So
when
that's how
And I
I
think
approach it.
that's
the personal approach is what wins every time. You don't have to use comparables. All you got to do is get your personality in front of them.
Exactly.
Be genuine and authentic and ask questions. There's no CMA, Zillow, Truly a Realtor. That's all script, methodical stuff we do all the time. What's going to connect with that person is you being likable, and your personality wins every time. That's why you got 4 listing appointments in 1 week with StreetText. You don't have to do anything else that anybody else has.
Well, I want to do more, but I want to, I just like to hear what everyone else is doing, because clearly it's working for people, right? So
yeah, and then Wendy, I just want to say like what you're doing there is, the goal there is to open a conversation. And so when you're providing a range as you are, they have a reason to reach out to you because of the fact that it's not exact. So I think that's really in the US, obviously you're competing against Zillow, you're competing against all these alternatives. In Canada, it's not the same. In Canada, real estate is really owned by realtors. And so it's very, very, very different with how you're positioning yourself in front of the market. And I think what's really beautiful about showing the internet's best guests is the fact that, well, you're proving basically, yeah, this is a great way to lose a lot of money or leave a lot of money on the table, which is really, I think people are like, oh, wow, I didn't realize. Whereas in Canada, you really want to just focus on providing that range. I think the way you're approaching it is definitely right. So it's all about the goal of opening a conversation. Last week I was at an event, and this guy, he basically ran sales at Salesforce, and it was like really great guy, and he had some really good tips. But one of the things he said is people would ask him, they'd be like, hey, what's going on? Why is my content not getting opened or whatever? And the simplest question he would ask is, how would you respond if you received what you sent? And it's just super simple. Like really, really simple way of looking at it. And I think, yeah, so I really feel like you like, if you're like, keep doing what you're doing, it's working. Yeah.
I'm so
Wendy,
glad, I'm so glad, Wendy, that you brought this up, because the Americans have a completely different system, and it doesn't necessarily work the way it works in Canada. So I'm really glad that you brought this up, because I was having a challenging time in my trial trying to figure out, well, what do I give? I don't want to give too much information, but at the same time, I want to hook them so they connect with me, right? And I'm not sending them a video off the top. I'm just sending them an email back, because a lot of them were just emails. There are no phone numbers, or their address only. So, so it's very challenging. So it's great that you brought that up. So it helps me.
Well, if you ever want to brainstorm us Canucks, you can message me anytime, and we can just bounce things off each other. Because I know Americans have the fortunate, they're allowed to contact FSBOs and expires and that kind of stuff, which I'm so jealous about, which we can't do. But yeah, whenever, just let me know, and I would love to communicate.
That's great.
Wendy, I don't use that. I don't use the script of what Zillow is pricing the home at. I just, the question they ask me is, what's my home value? And I give them a cloud CMA. I don't want to spend the time looking on Zillow and other websites. So I want to get to the point, and I figured that's what they want too. So the video I make doesn't even mention it, because that's not their question.
Gotcha.
I just put together what I think they want to hear and give them the information. And then of course, like you do, by saying, to get a more accurate number, I would need to see the place.
And bring in your personal knowledge of the area, the neighborhood, what you know about it, fun things, amenities, all that good stuff, like houses that you sold nearby, et cetera, et cetera. Don't just keep it so cookie cutter. I think that's a big thing. Another thing I want to help you guys think about is, just like we have a StreetText Insider group, you could have your own group and be the influencer of that community. And part of the way you do your autoresponders, your personal follow-up, could really say, hey, this is why I'd like to have a personal relationship with you on Facebook. I want to invite you into this group. And now you become the influencer of that community, and you update recent sales and mortgage and all that stuff. And you bring in other people in the industries and connect people and resources. I mean, you become the influencer that you want with everybody. So just something to kind of expand your thought process. The Facebook relationship, it's so you can actually take those relationships and maybe create a group around those relationships.
Yeah, and the other thing, I think that's really key, and the other thing you guys brought up or earlier was the fact that, like in your market, when people can look at their home value and they can see what their neighbors sold for within 24 hours. I'm sure accountants face this every single day. They probably think all this information is available to, all my clients. Why would they ever need my service? I think we got to remember that people are far less educated than we are. We're in the market 24/7. We see things, we understand the value. For someone who's considering what the value of their home is, they're entering the market for the first time. They truly have no idea. They're not going out there researching and looking at everything, not to the extent that you are. They might look at their neighbor's value. They might get an idea as to like what someone else sold in their neighborhood, like one person, but maybe they're blown away one way or the other. Maybe like, oh, that's way lower than I was expecting, or way higher than I was expecting. But my home is nothing like their home. That place is different. Maybe they've got, maybe they've got like a different, like a bigger yard or smaller or something, a swimming pool, you name it. And
that's what I was going to say. And that's why using the term, you can change the verbiage, but internet's best guess is still that until the expert gets in and actually sees and can say, right, you've got this, they've got this. Yours is worth more or less because of these reasons.
Yeah.
So what the neighbor sold for doesn't make a difference at all, unless it's cookie cutter, everything was built a year or so ago.
And this is why I really feel like the human side of it, like you can't remove it. Like you can't remove, it's just, there's too many variables because you have, well, obviously you have really like the key part, which is, someone needs to, like, they're looking for someone to reassure them and walk them through the process. There's that part. But then there's the other part, which is, it takes a human brain to look at the different variables and actually assert like, oh yeah, you know what, this has got a refinished kitchen or new floors or whatever the difference is. In our market, that tends to market like this. It's a totally, like, the worst thing people do is they either price their home too low because they're afraid or whatever it is, or they price the home too high, basically making sure that it becomes a stale listing. And then it's like a losing battle. And so there's a lot of strategy when it comes into how you price a home on the market, and people need to be educated around this. And again, I think this is why, like, service like that, the human aspect, you can't remove it. Like it's so critical in the market today, even more so now. People are hungering for it.
Yeah, you have seconds to get someone's attention and be different and unique. Because everybody's going to be inundated or solicited by something from some realtor if it's not you. So you better have something that just makes an impression and continues to be authentic in that impression. And it's not going to always be the first 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 touches that really resonates with them. Like this is the long game. If you're not willing to take StreetText for a long game, I think you're going to find that you're going to be disappointed.
Yeah. I think it's very important also. Wendy, by the way, I didn't mean to put you on the spot with the role play.
No.
I apologize. But I think it's very important to know what you say, how you say, and when you say it, right? And how many times you're saying it. It's a numbers game at the end of the day. And, all these leads that we get in through StreetText, so many over the couple of times I've been here, everyone says, well, I'm not having any luck with it. Well, what are you doing about that to make it happen? What if you're sending out CMAs and if you're sending out, all you're doing is sending out things to them and you don't have a phone number, which other way are you connecting with them, right? Again, it's a relationship business we're in. We're building relationships. If you look at your past clients, how did you get them? Do some research about, was that a cold lead? Was that an internet lead? Like, how did you get those leads and how did you convert that? That's also talking about your experience in this, that, you might think that these leads are not working, but again, mindset. Like I said the last time, it's all about mindset as well. If you want to believe that, that's good and well. If you don't, then take it for what it's worth. But I honestly feel that it's a mindset. It's what you say and how you say it and how you deliver it. It's right here,
Yeah, it's so good.
I love that. If you think you can or if you think you can't, it's probably right.
Yeah, so as far as the internet's best guess, I mean, I know that people can see their neighbor's house that sells and they can see what their value is and stuff like that. I do that in my video because I want to prove that they're all over the place. So, you know, if they think their house is worth this because Zillow said so, I'm showing them that, yeah, Zillow said this, but Redfin also said this, and Realtor.com is like $50,000 more. So I'm trying to prove to them that that's why they need us, you know, because we can actually help them figure out exactly how much their home is worth. So that's why it's in my video, and it does work if they watch the whole thing. Sometimes they'll watch just the first part and say, I can look up my shit on Zillow. What are you talking about? Blah, blah, blah. Well, why don't you finish watching the fucking video? It's only 60 seconds. But anyway, but yeah, and that's why I use it. And I know everybody was asking, you know, why do you use it? People already know that stuff. Well, they know it, but do they know that all these different websites have a different value? You know, and there's a reason for that. And if we go into their house, we can actually help them find a true value. So.
If I could just thumbs down with a video with a Zillow and a thumbs down, and they'll be like, "Hey, what does that mean?" Like off the top, right? Rather than waiting to the end.
That's great. That's great. No, that's great marketing. One of the things I always remember, though, you know, the attention span of people is getting shorter and shorter. You have a very, very short time to engage. So I really love what you just said, Wendy, because people look and go, whoa, whoa. And the curiosity factor of the human mind. You don't need a thriller video 12 minutes long. Even if what I've started doing now, Yahoo is going after TikTok. So I'll give you your tech tip of the day. And right now they've got something called Yahoo Shorts. They're beta testing it in India. What I'm gonna start doing with mine is I'm gonna start putting out a real short video on what I do. I'm doing my houses now that way. And then I just tell them that the link below to see the full video of my houses when I do it. But the shorter is better, something that catches the eye. So Wendy, you just gave me my tip for the day. That's why I said I love new people coming in here, because if you get something to catch your day, we don't laugh enough anymore. There ain't been a lot to laugh about this year. Down here, we got the ugliest politics going. It's just ugly. So to give somebody a minute to laugh and catch their eye and get in there, I'm going to try that, Wendy, because I just, you know, when they see it, like, whoa, what, you know, you want them to get the click, get the open, get them going, but keep it short, keep it simple, give them the useful information, and build on the relationship from there, because it is a long-term game.
The lighter side of real estate has a ton of Zillow memes. They're so funny. And I feel bad because if I post them, I'm actually a premier agent. They're going to come back and remove me from the system, but I only keep the premier agent status for my listings because their listing gets promoted even more if I'm a premier agent. So I do not love Zillow because, you know, it's so expensive, but I just keep the minimum of what I need to stay premier, so I still get out there. But it's funny.
My favorite Zillow meme is the A in Zillow stands for accurate.
Yeah, there's some good ones.
StreetText, when you guys making the postcards?
John.
No, I'm serious. Y'all need to get busy with this because that's the last thing we need. It needs to be StreetText. And that way we can just like pay right through StreetText and we'll put in our mailing leads, our addresses. But I say that needs to be
there
done.
are some really good postcard tools out there. And when
I want StreetText cards.
Yeah, but we need to integrate with them and make it seamless. I agree with you. We need to make that seamless so that I can see a day very soon where we do that, where we have some seamless integrations where it's just and then it just takes care of the systems. But working with the other really, really great providers, because there are some really good postcard tools out there, and just working with the ones that already exist and really make it, like you said, because and the other thing with postcards is you always want them to kind of get sent as local as possible. So that when people look at the back of the card, it doesn't feel like it got sent from, I don't know, some distribution center of Amazon's in the middle of, you know, who knows where. And yeah, so it's, you gotta, yeah, there are some really good tools out there, and just figure out which ones. And then maybe we can come up with some of our own designs, our own templates. Yeah. Love it.
Jeff, you had something you wanted to say.
No, I was just going to piggyback. It's been 15 minutes. I was just going to piggyback on something that Wendy said, and I've completely stolen all of her stuff. Just total disclosure here. But I do use the same video with Realtor.com, with Redfin, with Zillow. And I think the important point there, and cramming it into a minute, is explaining to them that you're drilling down a lot deeper by going into the multiple listing service and doing the research and making the adjustments. So that's really the key, where they can see that you've put in the time and the effort. You're not just winging it with, hey, here's 3 arbitrary values. They suck. I know what the real value is.
They suck. I should add that in.
And then remember, a couple takeaways if you haven't been in the last masterminds. Donna then sends an email about 10 minutes later, just checking to make sure they received it. Great takeaway to get those opens. And then if you're sending something out in the mail, what you do is you reinforce that open again by pointing back to the day and time you sent that video CMA in the piece of mail that you sent. And what Melissa was doing was she was adding in a Starbucks gift card of $5 for anyone that expressed immediately, or 1 to 3 months, 3 to 6 months type of sellers, or people that were engaging inside of that piece of mail. So again, you're pointing it back. So those are 2 great tips on the follow-up that should get you more interaction as well. Cool. Any other? We're at 10 minutes past the hour, so this is the time to, share or ask while we're all here together. There's still 43 of us here.
I'm putting something together to go after my address onlys, because I definitely had been neglecting them. And the other week, we're talking about QR codes and stuff like that, how much easier they are. So I've got a postcard that I'm putting together, and it's got 2 QR codes. There's a free QR service you can go find online. In the middle of my QR codes, I put the Facebook logo, because that's familiarity and a brand that people understand. So it's the one that Billy had kind of set out. I kind of piggybacked off that last week. And so I'm waiting to see when I get those back. But, you don't need to crash a neighborhood of 1,000. But when you turn around and have leads in there, like I said all the time, I don't need to go get more leads if I'm not working the ones I have. So my goal for November to finish out the year is I'm going to attack my address onlys. I'm doing the QR codes. If you really want to go high end, some of these QR codes let you set them up to track the opens on them if you want to go that deep. But the idea behind it is just driving to the site. So I would say this week, if people haven't done it and looked at how to finish out the year, go look at your address onlys and things in your StreetText that you haven't been working, and go after them. Even if you only put 30 minutes every couple of days or hour or whatever, go after what you got. You paid for it. Why are you wasting your money?
Yeah, last week's mastermind prompted me to get my cards done, and I have, and I like the way they look, and they'll start going out actually today. But Marcus, maybe you guys could put a section on StreetText Insider where we could post our samples of our cards.
Yeah, and
Can someone share
for section, Jeff? Anybody has files they want to upload, go to the file section of the Insider group. Those were all there. Just go to files and you'll see a bunch of PDFs and files already uploaded there.
So when I went looking for QR code creators, and everything was just like a free 1-week trial. So when I keep hearing about all of these free services, I'm not knowing where to find them. So if someone can just share a couple of links on the group, that would be really helpful.
Leon, $3.99.
QRtiger.com. Heck yeah. All I did is I went in and I went best free QR services, and it pulled up 10. And I did QR Tiger was the first one, because obviously the highest one ranks best, and it's free. And the thing is, once you create the QR code, it's yours, and you're able to. So the thing is, on that, I've got a link in one going to my valuation page. I've got another link going to just my search page. So I don't care if you only use it once. Once you create them, you have it. It's yours. So when you do the QR things, I always joke. I used to joke about Japan all the time, because we joke about the Japanese run around in old jeans and this and that. So the saying came up: if you keep something around long enough, it becomes relevant again, or it comes back in style. So the thing with the QR codes, and I joked when I said thank Walmart for this. Everybody's running around scanning barcodes. So all of a sudden now, cell phones, you don't need QR software. You need nothing. Just hold it up, scan it, you're good to go. So when you go ahead and create the QR code, just go ahead and, like I said, make something with a good link in it, and take it and save it. Now you put it on all your stuff that you're sending out. I'm going to start putting on the letters I send out even, because as long as there's a visual that somebody can highlight, I love that, Wendy. As long as there's a visual that people can turn around and scan and use it, it's going to be used. And it's a one-time, one and done. Set it up. I've got 4 going on. So I've got HomeBot.
Yeah, what do you link it to?
Pardon?
What do you link it to?
Okay, so I've got 2 going to HomeBot, one the buyer side, one the seller side. My primary one going out for the dress onlys is linking to my home valuation. The postcard that Marcus posted last week for Billy says that thank you for visiting my Facebook page. And so says, you know, you didn't leave an email address or this or that or whatever, however you want to word it. And then it's just, I got a QR code to scan here to finish your journey or start your journey. And so now they can just scan it and go into my site and go from there. And the thing that's cool is if you have the people in your database already, my site gives me notification when people come in and they're doing things. So now when I get a notification that they're in there, the intent is I'll go ahead and I can shoot them that bomb video, right? Because I'm watching them play in the site. And now I can just, you know, kind of speed the lead, follow up, or do that follow up later saying, hey, John, seen you on my site earlier today, looking, is any questions or anything I can help you with? But it's just one more way to get an engagement, especially to get an engagement with the address onlys that haven't been doing anything in my site. And then Jonathan told me something the other week. We were going back and forth on email. In StreetText itself, if your campaigns have not ended for people, you can add new things on the back, it'll keep going. But if it has ended, you can't. So what you want to make sure you do is go back in there, and if you have campaigns that have stopped on people, get something out to them. I mean, we've got so much stuff already sitting in there in StreetText. Get something out to them. So if you have a campaign that's done, send them something fresh. You can't do it on StreetText, but you can do it on your own. If you don't have a CRM, you know, as well, Jennifer does, Marcus says, stalk them in, you know, Facebook, but get something going. You've got leads that you had a touch on, go back and re-engage, but they're there to be used, and it's your fault if you don't.
Okay, last question, Leon, about this. Okay, so you don't link it to the ad that you have going on in Facebook. So, okay. A different landing page.
I because see, the thing is they've already been there. So you're trying to take them to the next step. I would rather get them into my site. I've already got them on a drip coming out of like Lion Desk or whatever is what I use. But if I can get them into my site, I don't even set up a search for people until they're actively engaged, because once they unsubscribe, it's too hard to get them back. So if I send you something, tip of the day, send it straight out MLS. You've got live data, send it. You're not worried about an unsubscribe because it's not running all the time. I might have a seller that I might send them a monthly update once they say they're going to do something right out of my MLS. And the idea behind it, though, is give them a reason to stay with you rather than to leave you.
Are you talking about this warrior diet in the side of the chat?
What are you talking about?
Yeah, with you.
I'm gonna fuel my fat.
I'll break out another Facebook group for that.
It's a really healthy way to live, but you don't have to do it. What's cool about intermittent fasting, if we're talking about this, is you don't have to do it for very long. It can be like 6 hours or 8 hours, and you just kind of like pause between a meal, and it's pretty easy, but it's basically just kicking your body into a totally different fuel system. But it's fascinating. I mean, obviously I do a lot of cycling, and so intermittent, fasting is kind of, you're doing it just by being on the bike. Just by getting in one of those sessions, you start, your body kicks into that other fuel source, but we'll get into that another day, but it's always
So
interesting.
can you have creamer in your coffee?
Yeah. You can you can
Drink coffee all day?
There's no one way to do it. But yeah. Well,
yeah, Marcus has been leading this space for a long time, but it's just really good. It kicks your body into a different way of eating. It is proven to reduce cardiovascular disease. People who have had like heart tremors, even, it's crazy. Like I was listening to this thing on CBC Radio, which is in Canada, but they were interviewing a bunch of doctors who are doing studies right now on intermittent fasting, and pretty surprising sort of what the results are. But obviously it's just, you don't have to do it for very long. That's the crazy thing. I always thought it was like, can't eat food forever, but no, it's just like really short little bursts.
Now you know we're at the end of the mastermind as we're talking about intermittent fasting.
So then I'll throw this out. We're at the end of the year. This week, I challenge everybody by Friday to sit there and post something that they are doing different that they weren't up to today. So whether you scrubbing your database, doing whatever, go post it. Because like I said, I've had the best ideas coming out of what everybody does. And like I said, Wendy, you just really, like I said, the famous Zillow thing, I am just rolling on the floor with that one. But it's just things we incorporate. It gets us off our butt. You know, people are forever, we outsmart ourselves. So I challenge everybody, post something different this week by Friday, what you have in the insider group. And next week we'll see who liked whatever idea best or whoever incorporated something, because this is why we're here to learn. So let's learn.
Yeah, and take this all back, as Leon said, to the insider group on Facebook. The more you create discussions, the more you post in there, tag people that you want more information from, share your ideas, share your ads performances, share your follow-up videos, share everything. Because the more you create that discussion, the more feedback you get. And then if anything comes out of this, because we got a lot of people just beginning with StreetText in here or really in trial, you know, just reach out to your coach right now and say, hey, this is kind of overwhelming. Where do I even begin? Because sometimes we just need to take it way back. Realize Leon's been here for, how long have you been here for now, Leon?
Here's the funny thing. Marcus stalked me and I was like, God, this guy's annoying me, because it's like, I get 50 billion things forever. And I told him, and see, Marcus, you talked to me, you'll remember this. I go, hey, just, you know, give me 2 realtors that are doing this and let me see what they say, because I want a real live result. So he gave me 2 names. One guy was in Minneapolis, like, oh, this is cool, because I know Minnesota, my neck of the woods, St. Paul, we can do this. Called the guy up, he's like a Remax. The other one was some girl named Donna down in Texas. I'm like, who's this? And I talked to her and she just got started. So the first time I was with StreetText, like I said, the integrations weren't quite what I wanted. And I was probably there, I think 6 months or a year, and then I went away from it. And then Marcus the stalker hit me back up again. He still kept in touch. Finally he goes, Leon, man, I think I got something. I think you'll like this. So I said, all right, let me give it a try. And I came in, he's like, I'll give you a trial. He said, let me extend it out. So finally I was like, okay, you know what? We're moving in the right direction. But it still comes out at the end of the day, the mastermind groups were really the main reason I came back, because, you know, you don't have to have the latest and greatest updated software. You just have to have whatever you use that works. And the thing is, the direction that StreetText had went into the 1.5 years or whatever I had left there was more the direction I wanted to flow. I have no regrets. While we're sitting here today, I just booked 2 appointments, and I'm laughing, StreetText appointments. One $750,000, and the other one, the guy's moving to Florida, has the house paid off. So George, when I find out where he's moving, if it's your direction, and actually she's moving, I'll be talking to you. But it's just, it works. And this lady, I looked at her, and this is where we use things. Her name wasn't even matching what was on the title. And then I went into anywho.com, and that's them, looked at her email address, and it's like, oh, that's them. So I've been texting and emailing with her, and I have to call her when I get off this to set the hard appointment. But like I said, it works, and it's long-term. She's been in here over two years or something like that. So I've been with you for a minute.
Thanks for calling.
Donna Swansea was new. She'd been with you like 2 or 3 months.
Yeah, and now she's triple digits transactions. We think she's the celebrity, right? When she gets on the masterminds, we're like, oh my gosh, it's Donna Swansea.
The rock star has arrived.
Awesome. Hey, thanks, Leon, for the shout out. All right, guys, we'll let you go. I know it's just getting up to 10:30 our time, 1:30 in the East Coast. So take all this great information, apply it, post it in the insider group. Tell us one thing you're going to do from this mastermind right after you get off this. Go to the insider group and share that. We appreciate you. Talk soon.